So good day, everybody. My name is Maria Vittoria Ciniglio, and I'm going to be your host for today's webinar about the new updates of Easy Project. I beg your pardon for my accent because I'm Italian. I will try to speak slowly and not to make any mistakes. We are still waiting 1 minute for other people to join the webinar, and then we will start the webinar, which will be recorded. So for you to have it, it will be sent out to you. And at the end of this webinar, you will have a couple of questions to reply. So thanks for your patience. Let's wait 1 minute more, and then we will start. Here we go. So it's 3 o'clock. Again, my name is Maria Vittoria. Welcome to this webinar of Easy Project 10 Plus. So with the new, today we are going to discuss about the new updates of Easy Project for this autumn season. And I will be your host for today's webinar. In case you will have any, in case of questions, you will be able to use the question and answer feature, which is on the bar, on the black bar of your Zoom screen. Do not hesitate to write down your question and answers and your questions, and I will reply to them at the end of this webinar. As mentioned a couple of minutes earlier, this webinar is going to be recorded and is going to send to you via email, thanks to our marketing team. So this webinar is going to last around 30 minutes. It's like the minutes that I'm going to spend to show you the features, and then there will be like 2 questions for you during the webinar that I will ask you to reply, and then I will leave 10 minutes more time to reply to your questions. So the questions that you will write in the question box. We will structure this webinar starting by the features, the new features that we have developed and which are related to the tasks. Then we will look into the new settings admin bar, the quick search. Then we will have a look at the projects and the settings named deletion confirmation. Then we will have a look at the built-in role, which is part of the user types. We will have a look at the DMS, so the new feature with the drag and drop possibility to move files between the folders. Then we will have a look at the resource management plugin and the new feature, which is more linked to reporting. We will have a look at the end at the help desk, 2 new features that we developed. And last but not least, we will have a look at the features developed related to the Gantt. So let's start with the new features linked to the task. Today with the new version, so if I update my Easy Project 10 on server, or if I have a cloud, the updates will come soon, like little by little in your cloud. You will realize that when you create a new task, there's like a fast possibility to search for the co-workers. So it means that I can type straight away like the name of the person that I want, and then it will look into it and it will allow me to add some co-workers. This is something which has just arrived and appeared, and it will allow you to go faster when allocating the tasks to an assignee and choosing also the co-workers, so the people who have to be notified in case the assignee cannot work on the task, or in case there are some updates in the task and the coworkers, they need to be updated as well. The second feature that we developed is basically a pop-up window always on a task. So when we are on a task and we click on the pencil, this pop-up window is pretty familiar to every one of you who are already using, have been already using Easy Project for a while. What is new is that here you can you will find some these like three buttons, like these three lines, where you can straight away add a new task, a parent task, or related tasks. This is something which was not there before. Then the third feature linked to the task is connected to the feature of the checklist. As you know, each task can have a checklist on it for people to make sure that like a couple of boxes are ticked before saying that the task is completed. What we have added is this feature, like the possibility for you to understand in the checklist how many items are included and how many items of the checklist have been like filled in or attached, I would say, out of the original checklist that you as a project manager you have created on a task. So as you can see here in this checklist, there are like 3 items. So I'm asking my people to add 3 documents in these tasks before saying that the task is completed. And each time like a box is ticked, then this number will be updated for me, project manager, to understand where they are with the checklist and then also with the task progression. And last but not least, another feature which is connected always to the tasks, it's more related to the list of tasks. So tasks, the list, which is a filter, as you may know, couple of minutes and it will appear. So the task list here now has a new feature, part of the options, and it allows you to see the last comments added on a task. So if I go to options and I click on last comments and I apply the settings, I will start and I will see straight away the last comments added on the task. So it will appear here and it's a column which can be useful for you in case you are used to export this task list in Excel and make some meetings out of it. So as you can see, these are the last comments which have been updated. And for sure, you can also in the settings of the task tracking um, input like into the system your need of displaying from 2 to like 5 or 10 last comments. For sure, the more comments you ask to the system to apply, this maybe like the bigger is this task list. And so it can be like pretty overloaded, with comments, but it's good for you to know that you can ask like even 3 comments instead of only 2. And it's like sorted in a chronological way. Then if we think about it, then if we switch to another topic, like the topic of the administration, the new feature is named Jump to Settings. So this is the place where all the settings, you know that the system is pretty complex and then sometimes you are lost in finding the settings that you're looking for. If you type it, now you can straight away have access to what you are looking for. So if I'm looking for the settings of the task tracking and I type your task tracking, I straight away have access to all the settings where the words task tracking are mentioned, and it's easier for you to find what you're looking for. So these were the first 2 topics that we have covered. Now we are going to switch to the project deletion confirmation. It's always part of the settings. So you go to the sandwich menu bar, you go to admin and you click on projects, okay? When you click on projects, this is the window which appears to you, and it's a project list, which looks like the task list that we have seen before, which can be exported, the column can be modified. This is something that you may know. What is good to know is that now there is a feature here which is named delete. It was already there before, but what is new is that when you go and you click on the button, the system asks you, do you really want to delete this project? And it asks you to enter exactly the name of the project that you're about to delete, to make sure that you make it in a rational way, and then you do not complain that that you deleted a project you didn't want to delete and then you wanted just to keep. No, so you made a mistake. So this is just there for you to avoid to delete projects that you don't want to get rid of. third topic. Then the fourth topic, what I mentioned to you before, it's a new feature linked to the user types, and it's named built-in role. What is the built-in role? If you think about your company, and if you think about your team member, you know that your team member, when you have purchased the licenses or when you have just started playing with the trial, they were organized based on some roles and permissions. The permissions of people to do and not to do things in the system, like to view, modify, create, delete, no? And at the beginning, when you started with Easy Project, or when you are starting with Easy Project, you can see that like the roles and permissions, there are 4 levels of roles and permissions, but you can have more level as well in your company based on the hierarchy that you have, no? So the levels of the structure of your team members. So team members, managers, directors, you can have more. All these people, all these roles and permissions, they belong to a user type. So you have basically user types with the permissions of a manager, of a team member, or of a director. We have developed with this autumn release a new feature which is named built-in role, and it allows you to give the permissions to a specific person to have access to all the projects just to do some business analysis or reporting. So it's a built-in role which is meant for general managers, maybe HR specialists, so people who are not specifically involved in the deployment of a project, in the elaboration of a project, in working on the tasks of a project, but are people who have to sneak into a project and take some data from this project, maybe tracking the performance of the team members, maybe checking the comments, maybe checking the timesheets to do some business analysis. So you can straight away associate, but link basically a built-in role, so the permissions maybe of a director, to a secretary or an assistant, an executive assistant, who on a daily basis has a role and permissions of maybe the management level. But if you give her like the director role permissions, then this person will be able to enter the projects and like do what she needs to do within the project with higher permissions, with bigger permissions. So this is like the fourth topic. The fifth topic that we have to discuss about is the document management system. So this is the place, this is the database where in Easy Project we store our documents and we organize them into folders. Before, we were only able to create folders and add some documents. Now, these documents can quickly be moved from folder to folder with the drag and drop feature. So this is something new that we have just released. We will switch now to the topic of the resource management plugin, which is like one of the most beloved plugin that we have on the market and one of the most useful for project managers to do some capacity planning. What we have created now is a new entity. So it's a new, I would say, filter that we can add to do some reports. And this filter that you can see here, it's named the resource report. And actually, it can appear in charts where you can see here the allocations, so the capacity per week, and the real allocated hours in terms of tasks. Look at Denny, developer here. So Denny here has 37 hours allocated in this week, which is made of 40 hours capacity. Okay, so this means that Denny cannot be charged anymore with other tasks because maybe he will have some meetings, or just like he will have some random tasks like happening during this like 3 hours left out of the 40 hours to be worked during the week. And this is useful because like it can highlight you like the people you see. Now we are on Connie Consultant, so I can see, or I can see everybody all together. And this report is combined with the list. So this is like the list output where you can see your people, the capacity per week, the allocations, so in terms of hours of tasks, the free capacity, and this will allow you not to overwhelm like your employees, your team members, and to make sure that they have enough time to do the tasks and like stick to your delivery dates without any major troubles. It is pretty easy to set it up. It's a filter that you can apply everywhere. You just need to go to customize this page. Then you, as you can see, it's here what I did. And to make this window appear, I just have to click under, I just have to go under users, and once I'm under users, it's written resource report. So give me 1 second that I will show you. Here we are under users. You click on resource report and you will set it up in this way. In our release notes, it's available, like these instructions are available, so you will find them to understand how to set it up. And you can understand, like you can tick the box chart. And then the second one that I showed you, it's named list in terms of output, okay? So it's pretty easy. One, you built it on chart, and the second one, you built it on list. And then here you can choose what you want to see in the available columns, either of the chart or of the list. And then here you can select the group of people. Me, I focused myself mainly on the IT expert, so the people that we were looking into their allocations were people belonging to the group of IT experts. So this is pretty easy to set up. Then the second, like the last, we switch the topic and we will go like to have a look at the help desk. So this is for people who have purchased the platform version of Easy Project and who can use the help desk and who are using the tracker ticket help desk. Now, what we developed is just like two different features related to the tracker of the help desk tickets. One feature is the autocomplete function to enter the mail of the internal users. Imagine that in your company there are more than 100 people using the help desk plugin, and that you don't remember all the email addresses of these people, but still you have a you have a ticket. So in terms of tracker, it's a ticket of help desk, and you need to update it, and you need like to send an email to one of your colleagues that you don't remember the email. Now, if you simply type the name of the colleague, so the internal user, because this person must have a license. Now I'm typing the name of Evelyn. When I type Evelyn, straight away, so the system straight away recognizes that I'm talking about Evelyn Jr. And this is the email address. If I type Christian, so another IT expert, then Christian has this email address. So it's easier and faster for you. And for sure, when you decide that you want to send the email out, then there will be a new pop-up window appearing asking you if you're really sure that you want to send this email also like to your colleagues. So here, so these are the two features that we developed. And last but not least, what we're going to talk about is more related to the Gantt, which is another plugin which is pretty appreciated by our users because it's pretty user-friendly in terms of interface. And what we have done, it's simply like we've tried to improve the interface. But before showing you what is new in the Gantt, I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. It really takes a few seconds to reply to these questions related to the Gantt chart in your project, and I just want to know how you use it, and your answers are useful for us to improve it even more, like for the new releases. So I'm going to launch the poll. Please take your time. I would just like give you let's say about 1 minute to reply, and you can just like reply to this, and this will help us to improve our Gantt, which is another like feature which is like used and like loved by our users. So please like take your time to pick up these questions and reply to them. I see that there are only 4 people, 5, so we're getting there out of the participants. You know that like mainly like the features that we developed are based on your comments, on your feedbacks. This is something that we can still do. We care about your voice, and it's an occasion for you like to express yourself and allow us to go further with our improvements. So we still wait a couple of seconds more. We need half of the participants still to vote. Still a couple of people left to reply to this poll. I will wait like 40 seconds more, and then I will switch off the, I will end the poll. So please take your time. It's not that many of you like left, but please just like leave an answer. Okay. Still 10 seconds left for the people left to give an answer. 3, 2, 1, and I will end the poll. So thanks to everybody who replied. So the majority of you use pretty often the Gantt. That's a good news. So we can take the occasion just to refresh it. And the rest of the people, it's not yet something used, but it's something they are interested into. Cool. So let's have a look at the Gantt. Let's take the occasion just to refresh it. As you know, it's like the place where we can handle the tasks, we can handle the relationships between the tasks, we can have the milestones set up. I don't know if you remember from the tools button, you can click on the button new and you can straight away create a new task and create a new milestone. You can straight away bulk edit the tasks. As you can see here, by clicking with the right button of the mouse, you can change the status, the priority, the percentage of accomplishment. It's something that I would not do because I would allow my team member to do it. And me as a project manager, I would just see it under my eyes with the progression bar, changing the color, but you can always change the assignee and then connect the tasks to the different milestone that you have pretty fast. You know that this is the place where you can also, in case you have purchased the business or the platform solution, you can also activate the resource management on it and make sure that you are not overwhelming your people or assigning tasks to people who are on meeting that day, on client side, or who are on sick leave or vacation. It's like also available when you activate the resource management tab on the Gantt to reallocate and balance. So this is just a refresh. I'm not speaking about anything new. What is new is that we changed something in the for like the interface, like to improve like the user experience, and basically it's written here exactly what we changed. So we changed the color for you to understand that when it's blue, it's a project and it's good. When it's red, it's violet, it's a project with a problem. When it's red, the task is a problem. When it's green, the task is going okay. The visualization of project completion, percentage done. So now the color is darker, like on a lighter background, and same thing for the task. And what we changed basically are like these buttons here, like these handles, and these handles are for you to change the start and the due date of the task. These triangles here will show you the progression. So we'll notify you about the progression of the task, so the percentage of accomplishment of the task. And this green button here is the place where you click on it to create relationship between the tasks. Then other thing which is pretty useful for everybody of you is just like the relationships now between the tasks. So you have the number of the delay. So when a task is finished and another one has to begin, you can have a gap of couple of days or couple of you have more than a couple of days in this case. And if the arrow is orange, it means that the relationship is fixed. So when I move the parent task, then the whole structure will move and this number will stay the same. While if the arrow is green, it means that if I move this and I move this, I need to pay attention because I can screw up the number here, so the gap can change. Then the milestone, they are more visible. And then the red line here is always helpful for you to understand where you are today. So what date is today? And then when you have these gray zones here, it means for you that you forgot to notify a start date and a due date. And parent of this task has unset the start and due date. It means that this is a subtask and the parent has not yet a start date and a due date which have been defined. So you really need to pay attention. So this is what is new in the Gantt, in the interface. And these are the arrows that I've shown to you, which show you exactly that the relationship is fixed. And then if I want to unfix the relationship, I can ask to the system to make like the relationships unfixed, then it's gonna be the color of the arrow will change and it's gonna switch from orange to green. So this is pretty much what is new in the Gantt. So it's like a new icons and a better interface. As you can see here, I can extend the task if I want by clicking on these small buttons, and then I can, like now I'm in the past, so I cannot modify it. But if I go to the future, I can still extend it. And like when someone starts notifying the percentage of accomplishment, like this bar, like these triangles, they will move. And this is the place that I've shown you where you can like start creating relationships again. So the button, it allows you to create like start to start, end to start, end to end, etc. relationships. So this is what we have released for the autumn version. I just make a quick recap for those who arrived late. So the first updates, they are related to the tasks, okay? So one thing that you have to know is now when you create a task, you have faster accessibility to the coworkers. You can type straight away the name of the person and it will appear straight away. Second thing is that when I modify a task, I will have this bar here. There will be a plus here on subtasks, on parent tasks and related tasks. And it will allow me straight away to add a subtask, a parent or a related task to this one. Third thing is connected to the checklist. So a checklist is a list of things to do within a task. It's items. In this case, I created a checklist of items, documents to add. So it's 3 documents. Now I can see the number 3. And when the documents, they start to be attached, then as a project manager, I will see that's like the checklist is complete, like it's 3 out of 3. So it's for me to make sure that like people are doing exactly what I asked them to do. And then the last topic again is the comments, last comments available on the task list, okay? So you have the task list, it's part of the option. So it's a column which comes from the options. It's listed here. You pick up last comments, you move it to the other screen, you apply the settings, and then it appears. For sure, if you apply the settings, do not forget that they are not gonna stay there for a lifetime, and then when you log out, they disappear. So if you want your last comments to appear here all the time, it's better for you to create a filter with the last comments, and you save it, and you give it the color, so it becomes like a button like this one, and you have it there. So this is the first topic. Then the second topic is related to the administration, and this is like the settings bar where you can quickly type the name of a setting. I was making the example of task tracking. We wanted to jump faster to this tracking settings, but we didn't know where these task tracking settings were. If I type it, I have the list. So where these two words are localized within the system, and I can quickly see what I'm looking for and find it ideally. Then we looked at the projects. So we looked at the other topic. The other feature is projects and is the delete functionality. So basically now when you click on the gear of a project and you go for the button delete, the system asks you, are you really sure that you want to delete this project and the related data? And this is to allow you to delete projects that you didn't want to get rid of, and just like to make sure in a proper way without like deleting accidentally something that you wanted to keep instead. Then the last feature that we have seen at the beginning was the built-in role. So it's connected to the topic of roles and permissions, and it's linked to the user types. So each time that I have a team, for instance, a specific user type, which is supposed to go around all the projects to make some reports, to make some business analysis, but it's not the person who is exactly involved as an assignee within all the projects, we can click and add this built-in role to make sure that this person has either the management roles or permissions or the director permissions, or maybe like some specific roles and permissions that you have created when you have created a new role. Then we have had we had a look in the DMS. So this is another feature. And now when you add some documents to your folders, and you make a mistake and you need to change the folder, you can click and drag and drop into another folder the document. Okay, so it's a drag and drop feature to allow you to move like the files from a folder to another. Then we have had a look into the resource report. This is the settings of the resource reports. So it's a filter that I can set up everywhere, no matter which dashboard I want to personalize. And it looks pretty much like this. It's a resource report in like sort of stock chart, I would say. Give me 1 second. Yeah, here we go. So you have the chart with the allocations, the capacity, and the real allocation. So the number of hours which have been assigned to the people. And then down you have the other like output, the view in terms of list, where you have the capacity, the allocations, the names of your people, and so on. Then we've had a look at the ticket, at the help desk ticket, where what I've shown you is that now you have this sort of autocomplete case, email to, where in case you have several colleagues with different email addresses and you don't know what's your email address, like what's the email address of the colleague that you want to notify when working on a tracker, on a ticket tracker, then you can straight away type the name of the person, and then it will tell you exactly the email address of this internal user. And for sure, like the second step of this feature is that when you update and when you save and you send the email, there is a sort of a notification which asks you to validate the email recipients. And last but not least, what we have seen is the new user experience, I would say, interface of the Gantt, with like different colors and different icons, and the legend is here. So this is pretty much what we have seen so far. Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to stop sharing the screen to pick up on the questions that you have asked, and then I will try to give you an answer. Take this chance, type down other questions, and we will stay out a couple of minutes together. So the first question which has been asked is related to the task list. Is it also possible to enter, for example, task tracker in order to find the task tracking? I don't understand this question. task tracking in order to find task tracking. I don't understand this question. For me, the tracker is the type of task. The task list is just a place where you see the list of tasks, and for sure it's a filter. So if you want to filter instead of task as a tracker, a list of help desk ticket as a tracker, you can do it. Otherwise, if your question is like more detailed and more structured and you want an answer, not to waste the time of also like the other attendees, I would suggest you to write an email to support@easyproject.com, and my colleagues will reply to you. But please make sure that you specify a proper scenario. And then the second question is, how many roles can be defined in the system? It's up to you. The roles that you can define, the role are just like roles that you define based on the structure of your company and on the different levels. So you can have directors, you can have then executive assistants under the directors, you can have the managers, the junior and the senior with different permissions. It's up to you. You can set it up as you prefer. Then there's another question related to help desk email. What if there are 3 Christians in the company? How do you validate the correct email address? This is even more difficult if the email addresses are anonymous and no real name is visible. Generally, when you create a user within Easy Project, you need to give to the person, to the user, a nickname and specify properly the first name and the last name, and the person has to provide the email address she or he wants to be notified and contacted to. You know that in the system you can have several email addresses, like per one user. I think it's up to 5. What the system will do is that it will allow you to enter the full name of the person you're looking for, and will suggest you like the email addresses. This is what the system will do. If the question is like, again, too detailed, or maybe you try and it doesn't work, then send out an email to support. Support will check your electronic web application in case you are still during the trial period, and will help you to understand how it works. Okay. And then there is like another comment: put a star instead of writing out the entire word. No, this feature, when it's like it's about task tracking and the user want to put a star instead of writing out the entire word, it does not work. You are talking, I guess you are talking about the searching bar, searching bar maybe in the administration settings, and there you just have to type the words for the settings that you're looking for, and it will guide you straight away there. I hope I replied to your question. So far there are no other questions available. My suggestion is for you to play around with the new features, and in case like you have troubles, you can either reach out to our technical support, writing an email in English, or go straight away to your account manager. So either is the person who sold you the licenses, so allowed you to purchase the software, or if you don't remember the account manager, you don't have one because you are just during the trial period. Generally, we are all there writing to you based on the language that you select when you open a trial. So me, generally, I help the Italian speaking users, the English ones, the German ones, and the French ones. Then there are other guys, other colleagues of mine who are in charge of all like the German, Switzerland, and Austria area, so they can speak German, and they can also speak Dutch, Flemish. Then we have other colleagues speaking also like, I don't know, Polish or Slovak. It's up to you. Just like any kind of question that you have about the updates, how will you get them? When will they arrive, etc. Reach out to your account managers, so your sales representative who helped you, or to our support team, and then we will be more than happy to help you. Again, this webinar has been recorded. So the link will be sent to you. Before you leave, I just would love to have a quick feedback from you. And this is for me because I'm going to host more and more webinars in all the languages that I speak. And I really want to understand if you like this or not. It's anonymous. I'm not going to come there and like shout at you in case the feedback is negative. And, um, and hopefully we will improve our services more and more with your comments. So I see that only 5 people out of 11 left replied for the moment. I will leave you still 30 seconds and then I will let you go because I don't want to waste your time. I know that you're working today, and I'm really grateful that you took the occasion to join this webinar and get trained by me. And I still have like 20 seconds left for the 4 people who didn't leave any comments. Maybe they're shy or they don't want. It's like still 9 seconds left for the last people. 4 seconds, three, it's over. So thank you very much for your time. I hope you will, enjoy these new features and you will be more and more successful and like with your projects. So thanks to you, thanks to you, and have a nice day, guys. Bye.